Hey everybody, and welcome to Let's Look at 10 Second Ninja. This is an upcoming platformer. You can call it an action platformer. You could also kind of call it a puzzle platformer, but it's not physics-based puzzle platforming where, you know, you're hitting switches and manipulating fluids or something like that, magnets, hitting levers. It's much more of the Super Meat Boy style platformer or puzzle platformer where basically it's almost like a platforming racing game. You're trying to finish the levels as quickly as possible, find ideal lines, and kind of perfect your score so you can rank up on the leaderboards. It's very difficult, it's very fast, and also I think it's very good. By the way, this will be available on Steam March 5th, which is around the time this video should be going up. $7.50 for its opening week sale and $10 after that. Let's get started. The way that this game is set up is basically very, very similar to Super Meat Boy in that there are chapters. Each chapter consists of, I don't know, 7 to 10 levels. I haven't actually checked for myself. But I haven't actually codified the number. We can actually check, I guess. Let's go back to the forest here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 levels per chapter. Okay, good. And then after you get a certain amount of stars, it unlocks the next chapter, and eventually you'll get to the death cube and you'll be able to beat the game here. This only took me about 45 minutes when I was playing through by itself. Or by myself, I should say, but don't take that as being like this game's really short, because it's not about just getting from A to Z as quickly as possible in the same way that you might in, I don't know, like Thief or something like that, for example. It's much more about actually replaying the levels and getting the highest score that you possibly can. So let's explain, before I get, you know, too up my own asshole, basically, about leaderboard positioning, how things actually work in 10 Second Ninja, what you can do. If you look at the interface right here, we got 3 shurikens. We can throw those. Those will take a little bit of time to travel, but will kill most enemies in one hit. We have the amount of time to finish the level. We have 10 seconds, which is our time limit for every single level. If we don't finish the level in 10 seconds, we lose. As soon as we take an action, time starts ticking down, and we have our personal best score up there in the top right, which is 2 seconds. So my goal is going to be to finish these levels as quickly as possible. The faster you finish them, the closer you will come to these thresholds. The threshold determines how many stars you get. The stars determine how many levels you unlock, or how close you come to unlocking some levels. So my best time right now, as you can see, is 2 seconds, which is like exactly what you need to get 3 stars here. Oh, that was a really good one. I kind of want to go back to level select and see how I did there, but in any case, that's the crux of 10 Second Ninja. Your goal is just to finish the levels as quickly as possible, and it works out really well in that same kind of Super Meat Boy sense of, like, it's frustrating, not in the same way that Super Meat Boy is, because in Super Meat Boy it's frustrating just to finish the levels most of the time. Even getting, you know, worrying about leaderboard positioning is something that's a little bit higher up on, like, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for example. But in 10 Second Ninja, it's frustrating to try to find the line that will actually allow you to get that 2 or 3 stars that you need in order to progress through the game, and then, you know, beat your friends on the leaderboard. I am pretty pleased with myself for getting 3 stars on that level as well. I don't know why I retried it. We can just move on to the next level instead. And it also is that kind of Super Meat Boy thing going for it where, let's try this again. It's that Super Meat Boy thing going for it where you can restart very, very quickly. I'm using the Xbox 360 controller, no idea how it works with the keyboard controls. I'm assuming that it probably works fine, but for these kinds of games, I much prefer to use a controller. This is a very slow time for me here. So the crux of the game is not only execution, but also conceptualization. You want to figure out the best line for you to get through the game, but also, I think I can get 3 stars here. Prepare to see the same levels a lot, I think, over the course of this video, but we will check out some of the levels that happen later in the game as well. Yeah, it's not only conceptualization, because you want to figure out the best line for you to actually go. We're pretty close there. But also execution, because you actually have to make it happen. And the controls are relatively tight. I don't know if I'd put them on the same, you know, pedigree as something like a Super Meat Boy or something like that, which is a comparison I'm probably going to be using an awful lot here. Just got to shave like a few tenths of a second off my time here. Let's try this again. That was a bad jump. Luckily, you can restart very, very quickly and very, very easily. Of course, if you land on the spikes, that's gonna... I mean, you can land on the spikes as part of your line. Not those spikes, though. But if... I think I should just not jump at the end. If you land on the spikes and die, but you killed all the enemies before you died, then that's A-okay. Still about a half a second away. We'll try this one a couple more times. But yes, occasionally I do find myself, you know, maybe aiming in the wrong direction, and that's not necessarily a fault of the game, but I do feel like, yeah, on times like that, like I've rocked the analog stick back a little bit, and I thought that it should have fired, but maybe I got a little bit too aggressive. That time I didn't even get 2 stars. Okay, let's give this one last try, and then we'll move on to the next level like this. Alright, well, I'm not doing very well here. We'll beat all of the first chapter, I guess, and then I'll show off some of the other levels. So yeah, it's probably prudent to take a second at the start of each level and just be like, how are we going to do this? And then kind of go through the instructions mentally in your head. I'm going to throw a shuriken at the one on the right here. Then I'm going to come up and smash the one on the left, do a double jump up to that platform, smash the one in the top left, and then throw a shuriken and kill the 2 at the very top. Unless, let me try something here. Can I actually, no, I can't double jump up there. Okay, let's try this again. Here we go. Do that. Oh, let's try this again. Double jump up here, destroy him, and then shuriken up to the top. Hey, that was pretty good. A new record, but not quite as fast as we'll need to be number 1. I almost wonder if it's better to throw a shuriken at... Because we only need 1 shuriken for the one on the bottom left there. Let's try this again. I don't know if this is going to be any faster. In fact, it might actually be a good deal slower. Let's try this again. And again, and again, and again, and that's basically what I hit the button by accident there. That's basically what I find myself saying as I play through 10-Second Ninja, is basically like one more try, one more try, one more try. And in a game like, you know, The Binding of Isaac is a very good example of a game that you play. I think I can make that jump. Is that how this line? Hey, that's what separates it. Okay. I think that's going to be able to get me to that 2nd or 3rd star, because I don't waste my time in the air. And instead, ooh, we're pretty close. That's a new record. But let me finish my thought, because it's hard to focus while all of my, you know, brain energy is actually manipulating the controller. But The Binding of Isaac is a really good example of one of those games where you're just like, okay, just one more play, one more play. This is, dare I say, even more addictive just because of the really, really bite-sized nature of the gameplay. Every run is like 4 to 10 seconds, or, you know, 1.5 to 10 seconds. That's super short. You could do 10 runs a minute. So you really get that kind of like addictive nature. Not to say that it's like akin to gambling, but then I feel like maybe gambling addicts feel sometimes. It's just like, okay, next play is going to be the one. Next play is going to be the one. And that's really the greatest strength of the game. There are some things that I would consider to be unideal about the game, but it doesn't really matter because, like, one of the things I consider to be unideal is when I hit the B button, sometimes my finger instinctively kind of hits the right bumper for reasons that are unbeknownst to me, but maybe I can change that in the key binding menu, so I shouldn't necessarily hold that against the game. But anyway, none of the foibles about the game necessarily really matter all that much, just because the addictiveness of it is so crazy high. Like, I could sit here and play this one level for the next 15 minutes and not really be bored with it, just because the times that you need in order to reach those like 3rd star levels are so good and so tight, and it's a very difficult game, but once you actually get that line, all of the frustration that might have been there earlier kind of fades away. So let's just come up to the top here and we'll destroy them, and we're, oh, so close. And this is the kind of the mystery, or the real puzzle, I should say, of 10-Second Ninja, is when you're so close to a time and you don't know if it's just execution that needs to be changed, or maybe if your line is slightly off, and one of these days I'll figure it out, and then everything will be beautiful and I can go back to thinking about other things in my life. But for now, all that matters to me is like level 1-4 in 10-Second Ninja. So let's move on here so I don't just play the same level over and over and over. We can take a look at this level. We know that 1 shuriken will destroy 2 enemies, so this is probably, well, almost certainly an inoptimal line, but you can see that 1 shuriken will take both of them out, so maybe that's something we want to do. But we also want to be able to take out this guy at the top, so maybe we try like that, and that. Oh, I hit the right bumper again. This is the only time I wish it had like a, would you, like, are you sure you want to restart? Because I felt like that was going all right. Oh, okay, I think I might have the ideal line here. So you jump up like, whoop, and then you don't double jump because I'm an idiot. And hey, that's a 3-star run. All right, that was way better than I did last time. This time we've got to choose. Do we want to go down, I guess technically, which side do we want to go down first? I think we'll do left side. So here's how it goes in my head if I'm going to plot it. I'm going to jump over to the left, kill the guy in the top left, get down there. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to fall off the edge, kill the guy in the bottom middle, like the left side of the middle, then go up, kill the guy in the top left, throw a shuriken at the top right, and then fall down and kill the guy in the middle right. Let's see if this works. So you go like, whoop. Okay, actually, I think the best way to do this would be like, whoop, and then down like this, and then up, and then you go, oh, you don't miss with that shuriken. That's an important part of the whole process here. And again, that's where I was talking about the balance between, you know, execution. We're kind of close there. I almost wonder if it's just faster to be like, whoop. The balance between execution and conceptualization is what I was trying to get at. This actually could be better. Let's see if this is actually plausible to handle it this way. Oh, I hit the button before I could see my score. Okay, that's my own personal problem. Take your finger off the right bumper for now. So I think we go whoop, and then we jump down here, and then we come over the top. And I'm really inefficient here. I'm noticing that, obviously. But we'll keep trying here. I apologize for not having more kind of cogent commentary to offer. But keep in mind that I am trying to you know, imagine trying to do like a Super Meat Boy speedrun while giving commentary at the same time, and then imagine that I'm not Rockley Smile / Nick, and you'll figure it out why that's so difficult for me. I think, like, that might not be the right line, but I think it might be capable of getting 3 stars. Let's try basically exactly the same thing here. Actually, you know what, can I jump up this way? I can, but that's less than ideal, I think. I think what I want to do is cut this guy with a sword, jump up, 1 shuriken. Sorry for the Steam notifications, I'm a big ding-dong. It's okay. No shuriken necessary. We run over. Don't fall on the spikes. It's an important part of any complete breakfast. Oh my god, I'm really mad at myself. And I'm sure that the scores that come out after this game is actually out are going to put mine to shame. I'm not even close to the top of the leaderboards, by the way. I know Biznap's been taking the game very, very seriously, and that's a good thing. I don't know if we're going to make this one. That was the same as my, like, earlier record. Whenever I have a bad run, I always feel like I need to use shurikens more, basically. I don't know how far I'm going to go when it comes to, like, min-maxing or trying to become, like, a really competitive player in this game. I don't think I have much of a chance, to be honest with you. But I'm sure anyone that is into, you know, getting the times that would be amazing on games like this and actually, like, competing for high leaderboard positions is going to have a great time with this game. It's an easy game to recommend, relatively cheap. Let me take a second here and actually open up my Steam overlay and turn off notifications. You can't see it, which I always appreciate. There we go. Just Steam, start in offline mode every time. Okay, this is our this is our boss level. So there is a story in the game. Your boss is or your enemy primarily is Robot Hitler, and even the boss levels only have 10 seconds. And the basic patterns of the boss and basic mechanics of the boss are exactly the same as the other levels. Basically, just kill all the enemies and you win. So that time we died at the end, but we still beat the level because that's the only thing that matters. And I'll see if we can get 3 stars here because this is one of the first levels that I really invested decent amounts of time into getting 3 stars on. And once you figure it out, it looks like super easy. Well, let's beat him the normal way first. So you would just jump over here, and then you'd be like, okay, watch out for the laser beam. Jump over here, watch out for the laser beam, and jump over, and there you go, we made it. Amazing, right? But we didn't get 3 stars. The way you want to get 3 stars on this one is you want to, like, cut it so close, like, barely hit Hitler, and then come back into the middle, and then hit him as he comes down, and then hit him as he comes down again, and there we go. We didn't beat our record, but we had a good time there. So as you can see, I'm 47th right now. Biznap 10 seconds ahead of me on 8 levels. Blows my fucking mind. Even Josh is 5 seconds ahead of me, but Mathis, man. I'm just going to assume that you're trying to maintain the best leaderboard position there. Let's move a little bit further into the game. And again, I can't stress enough that this is, you know, even though it's a short game, if you are done with it after 45 minutes because you beat the boss, you're not the kind of person that would be interested in this game to begin with, probably. If you're the kind of person that is... I don't mean to use this and, you know, make light of, like, mental illness or anything like that, but if you're the kind of person who has what popularly might be construed as OCD about video games, and you want to get the best possible times, and you're willing to invest, you know, 45 minutes to an hour per level to get, like, to shave off a 1/5 of a second or something like that, or, you know, a 20th of a second or something like that, this is your kind of game. If you enjoyed the min-max part of, like, Super Meat Boy, then this is for you. Let's move on to the ice levels, because it's a little bit further into the game. And these levels get a little bit more difficult from a conceptual standpoint now. So we have these ice blocks that come down. This is not the right way to do it, by the way. The ice blocks, let me just demonstrate how those work. If I don't fall on the spikes, that would be for the best, I guess. If we actually throw a shuriken at the ice block, it can get knocked down and then kill the person below. So we don't want to waste a shuriken on this guy if we could just use a shuriken at the top instead. So I think you just want to go like, It's a really important thing to not just waste, like, your double jump, for example. So, like, with 1 shuriken, we can kill maybe even 3 units up here if I get super lucky. Like, if I stand over here and then throw this, see, that's pretty good. It's not our personal best, but it's okay. Oh, okay. I wonder if I could just throw a shuriken from the top rope here. Okay! That's not gonna do it, but if I go, like, whoop, I'm trying to figure out. If I do, like, A and B really quickly, that can work. Okay, but it's gotta be really good. And don't hit right bumper instead. I think that's one of the ways that you might be able to get, like, a really good score. Okay, what I'm trying to do here is basically jump and then on my upswing or downswing, but I think downswing is impossible. I want to hit the Nazi robot down there with a shuriken. And I could the other way I could do it is what I'm trying to do, which is basically just, like, walk off the edge and hit him and then use my mid-air jump to jump backwards onto that, you know, that icicle, but I don't think it really works that way. Yeah, that didn't work either. Let's try this again. It's so freaking close that I almost... And this is what this game does to you. It makes you an obsessive. You know what? Do I get 2 jumps, actually, if I walk off the surface here? I can. Okay, I think that's what we do. So, let me explain my methodology here. We're going to slightly walk off that platform just to the right of us, use our sword swipe, double jump on top of the icicle, which will have then fallen, run over to the far right side of the screen and use the shuriken as quickly as possible. Let's do it. Oh my god, it sort of worked. Hey, a new record. We're still half a second away from the 3rd star, though. Do you see what this game does to you? I invested so much mental energy into making this happen, and now I've got a new benchmark already for my own success. If only there was a wall jump or something. But, you know, that would completely bust the mechanics of the game. That's not a new record. I want to try this one more time because I feel like I've kind of not mastered it, but I've come a little closer to mastery, and that's where the rub is in this game, isn't it? Is that you're always like, well, I'm not quite perfect, but I'm better than I was a second ago, and that's something that's easy to kind of be pleased about. Okay, this is a scary one because you saw what I did there. Let's try to throw the shuriken up here, but that doesn't really accomplish anything because the shuriken gets blocked by the icicles. So instead, what we are going to want to do is, I think, cause the icicle to fall like that, and then we'll, like, shuriken up at the top, and then we go, woo-woo, and 3 stars. New record. Progress happens very quickly in this game, by the way, which is a very good thing. I wonder if I can make it through this jump. Okay, so let's think about what our line would be if we could do this again. We could do like that, and then... Maybe we shuriken this guy and then come up through this area. So we go like that. And then we come up here and we go like here. And then we don't mess that up like I did there. I just got another achievement. The achievement's coming fast and furious. I got an achievement for skipping through the end credits. It was just like, I'm bored. That was the name of the achievement. I wasn't actually... Well, I was a little bit bored, as people often are with the end credits scene. You know, as an adult, normally I try to sit through the credits scene through some, like, weird dad-like sense of... like, not being entitled, if that makes sense. I'm like, yeah, I want to see who the gaffer was on this film. Like, he put in some really hard work. The gaffing was remarkable. But sometimes I just can't bring myself to do it. Admittedly, the game... I've forgotten that this is a Let's Look At, and that's a really good sign. But I'm not really offering too much critical, because I like the game an awful lot. Admittedly, the levels that we're at this point in the game are beyond me from, like, a min-maxing standpoint, even though you did just see me get... Yeah, that's not even going to be possible. Admittedly, you know, even though I got 3 stars on that level just before this one, or, you know, recently at least, it's still not at the point where I'm very good at these levels, and I'm not good enough at all to stand a chance against the people who actually are amazing. Actually, you know what? There's some, like, cool chain reactions we can do on this level. I think we want to, like, throw one this way. Maybe, like, come up here and throw that down there, and then... Ah, that's how we do it. So it's like a mousetrap type situation, like, hey! You see, let's do that again, because that level was a lot of fun. That was more puzzly than execution-y. So you throw a shuriken this way, then... by the way, the Nazi that you can see, like, in the middle here... Oh! Same thing as the other, he just takes 2 hits from anything. 2 hits from a sword, 2 hits from a shuriken, etc., etc. So like that, and that's a really good score. I'm pleased with myself. Let's move on to the next level then, and maybe we'll fight another ice boss. So we want to do like one, like... Might even want to throw like 2 shurikens. Yeah, okay, that's how we want to do it. So go like, oh, 2 shurikens and then fall down. That's really close. That actually is my, it's tied for my best. But I think when I did it my best, I did it a different way. I like fell down this way, and then just went like, whoop! And then 2 of those, but that's not very good. Okay, let's try this again. There's gotta be a faster way. I think, you know, the more time you spend in the air, the faster you fall. Maybe that's not so good. But anyway, I think it should go without saying that I considered 10 Second Ninja to be a very, very good game. And I consider it to be a game that a lot of people, especially if you're familiar with most of the games that I play on my channel, are going to be very interested in on their own personal level as well. So, if you're the kind of person, again, I can't stress enough, if you were into Super Meat Boy, this is your kind of game. If you are into Dust Force, this is your kind of game. If you're into N+, this is your kind of game. This is actually, you know, the first boss I mentioned being difficult, but this is actually one of the more difficult ones for me to 3-star. I think that's basically all we need to talk about with respect to 10 Second Ninja. There are bonus levels, I haven't checked them out yet. You can see that to unlock the last bonus levels, or whatever is going on in the circle over here, I need 49 more stars, which is not very likely for me. Did I improve my standing in the ice zone a little bit? Ah, Josh is still killing me. Biznap, again, like 9 seconds ahead. What a guy. But in any case, go check out the link in the video description below. Pick up 10 Second Ninja on Steam. It is You know, story-wise, short game, but the very definition, essentially, of endlessly replayable, super addictive, good price. I would really recommend it. I think this could be, if you're the kind of person that's into these kind of games, this could be one of your favorite games of the year, I think. And I mean that, you know, with no other caveats applied. So as always, thanks for watching. Check out the game on Steam now that it's out, if it's hopefully out. If it's not out, then check it out on Steam when it is out. But there will be a link to the store page in the description either way. Subscribe if you want to see more First Impressions videos in the future. And of course, it would really be a big help if you would like the video if you actually enjoyed it. Your support means the world to me. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time.